Hey guys, so good news. After my rather scathing review of the Dell Visor last week, a Microsoft support rep reached out to me and I managed to get access to the SteamVR preview. And as a result, I've now upgraded my score of the Dell Visor from a 6 to an 8, and I'm here today to tell you why. So first, the good news. Everything works. It's all good. I tested in Rec Room, which is my favorite game on SteamVR. I have well over 120 hours, I think, logged in it, so I am pretty intimately familiar with the graphics of it and with the tracking capabilities normally played on my Vive. So in terms of being able to accurately judge this for a familiar game, I felt that was the best way to test it. So firstly, and probably most importantly, my fears about the tracking capabilities of Windows Mixed Reality have pretty much been alleviated, at least in a game like Rec Room, where your hands are actually magnetized, so you don't have to completely reach down and touch. You can just be in the vicinity of something and click the trigger. It will automatically pick the gun up. It doesn't really matter when your hands are not perfectly tracked. There were a very few instances where I was trying to do something like shoot blind over the top of a barrier, and that was a bit dodgy, but there were so few times I actually experienced that and thought, oh, this is broken tracking. So I'm confident in saying now that that will pretty much work fine with most games. I haven't tested in something like Onward, which is a more technical military simulation game, and in that you are going to have problems when you reach behind your back, for instance. Another plus about the Dell Visor compared to the Vive is the difference in screen resolution. I actually noticed it. Now, in an unfamiliar environment like the Windows Mixed Reality Beach House or whatever it is, I couldn't really notice that much difference to say, well, SteamVR looks this good, but this looks a lot better. It's very difficult to tell without the exact same content to test on. But having now played with Rec Room in some more familiar sort of sniping environments, there is a definite benefit to the increased resolution. Now, it's not a huge bump. I'm not saying ditch your Vive and go out and buy a Windows Mixed Reality headset, but there was a difference there, and it does look ever so slightly better. On the downside, I do still feel like the controllers are pretty terrible. For a start, the controller angle, the angle at which you're holding a gun, just felt wrong. I'm sure that's a software bug and that'll be fixed when it comes out of preview. But moreover, the trackpad that I thought felt cheap and unresponsive, it really is cheap and unresponsive. In Rec Room, swiping across the trackpad is used to do a snap rotate movement. And I found this really difficult to do on this. It barely recognized when I did it, so I ended up standing there looking straight forward and not being able to turn around. So that was a bit annoying. Hopefully in future I'll be able to map that motion to the thumbstick instead, like it is on the Oculus Rift. Again, that's probably something they can fix in software at a later date, but for now you'll be stuck using the trackpad like the Vive, but not as good as the Vive. In addition, you use the menu button quite a lot in Rec Room in order to drop objects. And to be honest, it's really unintuitive on this. On the Vive controller, the menu button is exactly in the middle and above the trackpad. It's very easy to reach out and touch. On these controllers, for a start, on the mixed left and right, they are in a different place, obviously, but then they're also not directly beneath it. They're a bit off to the side. And overall, it just felt a bit unergonomic to pull your thumb in and then hunt around there for it, rather than just reach upwards at any point. So that was a bit annoying. And even after a couple of hours of using them, I still couldn't quite get used to it. That said, it was still playable and I could still rank pretty well. Not as well as I would normally, but still, it was playable. So rumor has it that the public beta of SteamVR is actually going to be released on November the 15th, probably the day after you're watching this video. So don't worry, you will have access to it very soon and you'll be able to try it out for yourself. And while still not perfect, I think it does actually put these headsets into the realm of you should seriously consider them now. I know many of you are also excited about the Sampson Odyssey headset. Unfortunately, that's not coming out in Europe, so I'm not going to have a chance to play with that. But that one offers an even further resolution bump compared to this. The controllers for that also look slightly more ergonomic, though with the same basic design. But I'm happy that these represent a real alternative to the current crop of high-end VR headsets. If you think $450 is the upper limit of your hardware budget, then this is definitely worth considering. It's certainly nice not having to spend an awful lot of extra money on additional tracking cameras or more USB cabling, USB controllers. It works out of the box. The tracking is absolutely good enough, and it'll be great for demoing because there's so much less setup to do. However, you will still need headphones if you want to play properly immersive, and you get almost nothing in the way of free content when you buy the system. This is in stark contrast to the Oculus Rift, where you're getting a ton of free games and experiences out of the box, included for free. And if you buy the Vive, you're going to get Fallout 4 when it's released. To be honest, right now, it's a really tough choice. So in the coming weeks, I'll probably be doing a more thorough comparison of Rift versus Vive versus Dell Visor. So if you'd like to check that out, as well as our twice weekly giveaways, please subscribe to the channel. Also, you'll find a link in the description for our current Dell Visor giveaway. You can win this headset, so don't forget to enter that. Anyway, thanks for watching, and hopefully I'll see you in Rec Room.